You now tuned in to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but we got something to talk about. Let's go. Good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 85. I'm your boy Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving this podcast a shot. Today's guests, they are the founders and owners of AK Media and Marketing, LLC. I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm sure we'll all be inspired by their story. Let's chop it up with Aiyinde Lawrence and Keldriick Purifoy. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, man, we're doing well. How about yourself?
I'm glad to hear that. All is well on my end, too. First things first, thank y'all for taking time out of your schedules to chop it up with me a few minutes. I really appreciate it.
For sure. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. Of course, we're here to talk about AK Media and Marketing, LLC, and all the great things y'all got going on in business. But before we go there, let's get to know the man behind the brand. We'll start with the A. Aiyinde, what's your story?
Hey, welcome. Well, thank you once again, Doug, for allowing us to come on your platform, man. We definitely appreciate it. We're going to take these moments definitely for granted. So just a little bit about myself. Right now, currently my name is Aiyinde Lawrence, but it's been in the process of being changed to, Aiyinde Abraham. So when y'all listen to this episode, my name will be Aiyinde Abraham, originally from Phoenix City, Alabama. I've had the opportunity to go to school at various different locations. I went to, as far as like academics and stuff, started off at South Alabama University, then I went to Oakwood University, then I graduated from Oakwood University, and I graduated from, also graduated from Loma Linda University in California, and now I'm currently here as a physical therapy student at Alabama State, University, and I mean, one of the things that I will share is like I have a passion for serving people, and that's why I decided to become an entrepreneur, and that's what I always want to make sure the focus. Kelly and I started AK Media and Marketing last year because we realized that, for one, as young Black men, I don't really know a lot of us that's in the marketing space. I have a previous experience with network marketing, which I did for about 2 years. So I had experience in marketing, and then I also had experience with photography and videography. And so we collaborated. Keldriick and I, we met at Bethany SDA Church. We were working together on the communications team. And then he and I was like, man, we should, really go into business, or we should, start doing what we're doing at the church. We should do this for other companies and for other business owners. And so that's how AK Media and Marketing really got started, just from basically what we were already doing. We've been doing it, and we still are doing it, for free for the church. And so we're like, well, why don't we just take what we're doing here? Kel is a very hardworking man and phenomenal. He's highly organized, and he gets after it. So I was like, yeah, this would be a great guy to, go into business with. And so that's what we've been doing since, and it's definitely been a learning curve. There's a lot more to marketing than we have previously thought, and it's been a great opportunity to learn.
Wow, man, what a story, man! Like just your own individual story, man. You coming from Phoenix City. You said you went to Oakwood, graduated from Oakwood, and ended up somewhere out there in Cali and graduated as well.
Yep.
Wow. So then now you're at the Alabama State University. So just in terms of those campus life experiences, like just the difference, those campuses those schools you've attended, what's been your most memorable college experience?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Each experience has been they all have played a part, in my growth it really started, a lot of it really began towards the end of my sophomore year, going into my junior year at Oakwood University, is where, I was exposed. And I was exposed, and I got a chance to really see, Black excellence. I got a chance to also grow in my relationship with God. While I feel like I've always grown up, churched and knew a lot about God, but I feel like my relationship with God actually improved and moved. And so, which even led me to go to school to where I was led to go to school in Loma Linda University, where I really, was able to develop more of my skill set as far as being a servant leader and serving people more. So at Oakwood University, man, it's an exceptional school. It's a God-fearing school. God definitely has his hand and his anointing on that school. So it was there where I began to start really cultivating my mindset. A growth mindset is what I called it. And that was when I began to start not just growing in my relationship with God, but also improving my social skills began to develop. I was able to learn a lot about myself, as a man, how to navigate, what the prerequisites are to becoming just a better man in general. And then transferring to Loma Linda, where I wasn't around no family members. That was when I really had to, learn how to navigate on my own and get outside of my comfort zone and connect and socialize with people from different ethnicities, cultures, and even religious backgrounds. And so that was an eye-opening experience for me as well.
Wow, man. Hey, much respect to you for being able to make those pivots and go from Oakwood University out to Cali and just being able to adjust in those climates, man. I pretty sure it was quite interesting. But you made it through it, man. Like everybody don't have the guts to go way out there, like especially coming from Alabama. So let's just talk about Oakwood University. Let's talk about the HBCU experience in general. What was that like for you?
Man, it was great. I went to a predominantly white high schools. And I also went to a boarding school my sophomore and junior year of high school. So to be around, first, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was opposed to going to an HBCU. I mean, my family, my grandmother was a part of the civil rights movement, so I was always aware of our history, as a Black individual. So my identity as a Black man was pretty solid. But being at a HBCU, being at Oakwood, and being here at Alabama State University, you get a chance to see, as I mentioned earlier, like, this is what Black excellence really looks like, just from the standard that the professors hold themselves to, and you get to also meet Black people from different countries, and especially at Oakwood, is a very diverse group of Black people. You get to meet Black people from Bermuda, you meet Black people from London, Black people from the West Coast, the Northeast, and also from the South. So being around that environment opened my eyes up to, like, especially, like, I guess when you grow up in Alabama, you grow up here in the South, we even have our own stereotypes about the different types of Black people, that we have. But being able to see that, showed me that, like, we're not a race, we're a people. And, to be able to be around so many beautiful Black people, beautiful Black women as well, it was an eye-opening experience. And I definitely, it made me more proud to be, a Black man, and to understand, like, we have so much rich history that is so much deeper than the 400 years that our people were enslaved. And being around individuals that embrace their own ethnicity, that embrace their heritage, I didn't feel like I felt accepted. I didn't feel like I needed to assimilate, myself. And for the first time in a while, other than the opportunity I got a chance to go to Uganda, it was awesome. Like, man, we're around people that look like me, and people that some sound like me and some don't. And so, I was also able to get exposed to both the, Afro-Caribbean culture, and I was also able to get exposed to other Black cultures from different regions here in America. So just like that exposure was a great opportunity for me to see, Black excellence and how it looks in different forms.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. Like you hit the nail on the head. Like just coming from Alabama, just a stereotype. We have our own stereotypes of people. And not only that, even when you were talking about not wanting to go to HBCU at first, a lot of us who ended up HBCUs, most of us can attest to that. Because coming up in Alabama, all we know is what? Alabama and Auburn. So we're not even conditioned to even think about Alabama State or Oakwood or Tuskegee. But to your point, the fact that you went got that exposure. You saw that Black excellence. You got a chance to meet people from Bermuda. You got a chance to go to Uganda. Then you get to meet people from all over the states, man. Like the HBCU experience, it's a huge melting pot of people that just come together and y'all become family. Sounds like that's what happened at Oakwood University for you. Yep. Cool, man. Appreciate that. Keldriick, what's your story, man?
All right, so I'm Keldriick, Purifoy. Just a little bit about me. From Selma, Alabama, born and raised there, moved to Montgomery, Alabama in 2007. And just by met myself growing up inside of the church, it's been a great experience to actually experience how to become a leader and be a leader at a young age. My father, Jose Purifoy, plays piano. So just watching him do what he does and being able to have that opportunity to fall into the course of becoming a leader has really been one of the best decisions ever. And within, starting the company, AK Media and Marketing, I met Aiyinde at Bethany SDA Church where, I was just doing it by myself, taking pictures, posting content, creating Facebook posters and everything. And I was like, well, I need some help here. So then that's when I reached out to our young adult ministry team. And Aiyinde was one of the first people that actually came and helped me out. And based on his skill and knowledge that I have observed through the time that he has been volunteering with the ministry, I'm like, this dude is really bad with the camera. He's good with creating graphics and just has ideas all over. You give him an assignment, he know how to take that assignment and turn it into an awesome idea and make sure it works out and it makes sense and it sounds good. So based on that, we just been, running the company, still working at its best, to serve people, because that's number one goal. We want to be able to serve people in the state of Alabama, not more so chase after the money or the dollars or anything, but make sure, number one, that we do serve any of our customers or clients and make sure, number one, that their goal is met before our goal gets met. Because at the end of the day, our goal is going to be taken care of, but if our client or our customer's goal is not taken care of, then nothing matters at any point. So I graduated in 2019. So yes, I look like a baby still, but I graduated high school in 2019. After I left there, went to Trenton State Community College, got my associates in early childhood education. For the most part of my life, education has been one of the best decisions that I ever chosen, because as a young guy growing up, Lean on Me was one of the best movies I liked. And I said, well, one day I'm going to be the next Joe Clark at one of these schools and see what I can and cannot do to change some of these schools. And because growing up in school where I was at JD, Brubaker, I mean, some of the same things that they did in Lean on Me happened in my days in school. And I'm like, well, I guess not just becoming a teacher would be a great decision for me, but becoming a principal as well and actually leading a school of leaders, teachers, and students where they can develop a great learning environment to where they can, get to where we are, which is in the stages of college. So after I attended Trenton State Community College, graduated, I said, well, Alabama State University has been on my mind since day one. So I said, I actually got the opportunity, applied for Alabama State. They accepted me. Here I am at Alabama State University. Now working on my bachelor's in education as well. Then I'm going to go back and get my master's in education. Then I'm going to get another master's in school administration. Then I'm going to leave it out with my PhD in educational leadership. So I've been working. I'm a very hardworking man. So when it comes to working, I'm that person that's not going to stop working for nothing. I'm going to work when it's time to go to bed, work when it's time to get up. I'm just going to work all day. So,
Much respect, man. And hey, you got your plan already laid out, man. I love to hear that. Like, and the fact that you were inspired by Lean on Me and you want to be that change, because we do need more Black males in the school system. Because I graduated from Lee High School in 2006, and the majority of my teachers coming up, majority of the administrative staff I saw were women. And, those women didn't look like us. So the fact that you wanted to come in and be a Black principal in education, yeah, you can't be about the money doing education. The people got to come first. So what you're doing in education and just hearing both of you all talk, y'all want to serve the people. And that's vitally important because money is a byproduct of serving the people and doing the right thing by people. So just in terms of, let's talk about your HBCU experience at the Alabama State University. What has that been like for you?
Um, it's been a trying time. You know, there are days where I just say, hey, oh, can I just graduate? But
Right.
at the end of, I do know that hard working of doing papers or doing assignments, late nights, staying up is all going to pay off at the end of any result that I'm taking through that 4 year journey being at Alabama State. I'm not more so of a person that gets all into what they have to offer for us the extracurricular, because I'm more so like a church person. So I'm like, hey, I'm there for school, getting my education. Hey, they're gonna take all the money they could take from me, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna get my education, get my degree, and hey, leave all that extra stuff where it is.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. That's some good stuff. Like, I'm glad you chose the Alabama State University, man. I'm glad you're getting that HBCU experience. And trust me, man, time flies by. When you look up, you're gonna be 30 years old. You're gonna be like, man, where did time go? So just enjoy it. I know it's writing those papers and being in the thick of it. It seems like it's never gonna end, but trust me, man, them college days, they fly by. So now we can talk more about AK Media and Marketing LLC. Just how you guys even got connected and met each other, man, is just super organic. And the fact that I know you were saying, Keldriick, you were looking for that help, and the fact that Aiyinde was willing to come help you with no paycheck attached, it says a lot to you all's character, man. That's so dope to see brothers working together because we see so much competitiveness in our culture, and it's not necessary. So the fact that you all were able to collaborate, that's so dope. So let's talk more about the business side. What all you all got going on over there?
Yeah, man. So, like I said, our company is AK Media and Marketing. We serve businesses to help create marketing strategies through social media content specifically. We're definitely big on helping companies just get their names out there and to, we create creative solutions for our clients. Because we are younger, we definitely help bring in a younger audience to businesses, and we really help businesses bring a more of like a youth appeal to their companies. That way, it'll be more appealing. And so we between video content, videography, we do photography for the companies that we have served. And from there, we distribute that information to get customer engagement, to drive traffic to various companies. So that's what we basically do, in a nutshell. And I think you asked, I think we touched on it earlier, basically how we got started. Like I said, we started last year because everything we realized with marketing that we were communicating, being able to communicate your brand or being able to communicate your business, that's really important. Like, you can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows who you are, and no one knows what services you offer or what your product is or what it is you have to offer, then you're not going to be in business too long. And even as a Christian, like, one of the verses that I realized that our company stands on and we want to communicate with other business owners is, even in the faith or in Christian faith, like, how can people, how faith, if faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God, then how people gonna know if they never hear about you? And so I think I've noticed, and from being in business, one of the things that I've picked up on is, like, a lot of us as business owners, we focus so much either on the service, and that is great because word of mouth at the end of the day is still one of the best forms of marketing. However, we want to make sure that people do have something to actually talk about. And so that's what we come in at, and we help, really promote and push your brand and push your marketing. I think the motto that we have that I haven't shared it with Kel yet, but your business is our business, so we can get whatever we need to do to help, get eyes, especially from a social media standpoint. That's what we want to do. That's how we like this.
Dope. Anything you want to add to that, Keldriick?
Just piggyback out basically what he's saying, like he said, at the end of the day, we serve people. And we really learn in being in business that running after money, chasing after $50 or $100 here and there, it ain't gonna get you nowhere. You gotta make sure you serve the people first. Make sure you meet the needs and the goals of those people. The money will come, because if you forever keep chasing after money or running after a $10, $20 bill here after there, I mean, eventually it's gonna run from you. So basically sitting in, business together, we learned that, hey, serving people, whether it's, costing them for free of charge or showing them what we can and cannot offer to them, it also helps us grow as individuals, learning that, hey, if we sit back and investigate their problem and learn how to serve and solve their problem, at the end of the day, all glory gonna come back to us, and blessings will be shared down to us at the end of the day, whether it's $10, $20. At the end of the day, sir, we solved your problem.
Yes, sir. And like putting people first, that's one thing you all keep reiterating. And like, I love to hear it, man, because I hate to say it like this, but a lot of Black owned businesses don't think like that. They don't think customer service first. It's about how can I get your money? But the thing is, you want repeat customers. I'm pretty sure you all understand that. Y'all understand business. Like the best customer is a repeat customer. And the fact that you all saw a need and was willing to step in and step out and create a company to help companies fulfill that need, like, marketing is so important. Like marketing and knowing how to market is vitally important. So in terms of when you all meet with clients and sit down with clients, how long is that consultation period? Can't even talk right now. So how long do you all typically take with clients when y'all first sit down with them?
Yeah, so usually we like to just really get to know our clients. I think just know them, know who they are, what do they stand for, what are their values. And so oftentimes, I mean, maybe the first initial, we do offer a 30 for, first 30 minutes consultation is usually, that's free. And so, but usually it may take more than one 30-minute session, because, sometimes that's not enough time to really talk to one client. I mean, we've had most of our consultations, on average have between 30 to 45 minutes. And a lot of it is really just wanting to understand and know their business, because we need to know their business just as intimately as they do almost, so we can make sure that we are communicating their message effectively and communicating their brand effectively to the people.
Okay. Makes sense. Definitely getting to know, like you said, the client and understanding them. So take me back to that first paid client you all got, man. What was that feeling like getting your first official paid client?
You want to go or you want me?
Go ahead, Kel. You can go.
All right. So, working with Mr. Terrence has actually been a working adventure with working with Mr. Terrence, because basically how we ended up working with him was, it was basically an opportunity where we did the Christmas gala for our church. And basically from the Christmas gala that happened with our church, we was able to actually meet the event center owner, and he was basically giving us a consultation of his time, telling us all the things that he needed or he had trouble doing. And one of those things that really touched our hearts and motioned us to work with him is marketing. He said, I have a marketing problem. I'm not getting enough clients to book my event center, or I'm not having enough quality-based content posting onto my social media platform. So we offered to step in and help Mr. Terrence for 30, I believe it was for 21 to 30 days for free. And based on working with him, because like we said in the beginning, we want to make sure we serve our clients and meet the needs and the goals of our clients. So based on that 21 to 30 days, we were able to present so many stuff with them and just get things done and solve so many problems. And based on that, bookings start coming, things start coming, people start reaching out to them. So I just say it was a great adventure, and it also gave us an opportunity to release some of the things that we did, which is photography or marketing or being able to talk with the different clients that he did have come through the event center. So it was a great experience working with him. We loved it. We enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
And we still do work with him, by the way. We definitely do work with him. I think one for me, like, it just shows like, okay, one, I was just ecstatic that not necessarily with the check in it of itself, but like, the process of and trusting that process. I think that's one, as I'm even thinking about it right now, like before the check was, signed and we got our first payment, I think the process that we went through and that we said, this is the process that we decided to go through. Like, hey, we're gonna focus on doing X, Y, and Z and coming up with the strategies and serving in that way. That to me was like the most important part. Like, okay, not only, this client sees the value that we offer and we were able to execute and on what we said we were going to do, and it shows that okay, this is the value that it helps us solidify the value that we bring to the table, and especially as a new company, you're trying to build trust and with your clients, and so that building that trust and them exchanging for that transaction, that shows that okay, as a company, like we are beginning to be on the right track as far as what we do from a process.
And that's dope that you all are talking about process because, I mentioned what was that first payday like, and y'all went right back to the process, and that's dope. And that's a great way of thinking. So here's $1 million question. Did you all document that process that y'all went through with Mr. Terrence so that you all can repeat this with other clients?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because that's the most important thing in this journey, just in terms of learning and growing. Because as I speak to you all, I'm growing the podcast, and the most important thing about growing a brand, as you all know, is you got to document that stuff, because if you did it once, you can do it again. So that's dope that you all are documenting that process. Good stuff, fellas. So whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform like you all, I like to talk about 3 things: the aha moment, action, and audacity. You all pretty much covered your aha moment, like what sparked the idea to create this company. So from the time you all had the aha moment, how long did it take y'all to take action towards coming up with a name, a logo, and getting started in business?
Yeah, see, what I mentioned, like I said, one of the beauties of, before I go into that, I'll say, and this is for aspiring entrepreneurs, because we haven't been in the game that long, maybe to give any advice to any seasoned entrepreneurs. But one of the things that I've learned, and one of my aha moments was before we got to the name, is surrounding yourself around the right people, and also surrounding yourself around people who are stronger in certain areas, than you are. So it didn't take us long. I came up with the idea. Kel, signed off on it, and then, just how we work. Like, I'm really good with coming up with ideas and, coming up with strategies. But, Keldriick is really excellent when it comes to actually helping see the vision through. And so really, once I came up with the idea and it's like, figure out how it could work. He by within a week's time and 2 weeks total, and then you have to get established and stuff like that. So probably in about 3 weeks, everything was fully established with name, LLC. And for me, I'm great with coming up with good ideas. But then Kel, like, he's to move real quick. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Kel's like, nah, let's do it. Let's go, man. Let's do it. And I think that helps push me, because I'm like, okay, if I just sit, because I have always had great ideas. And as they say, ideas come a dime a dozen. So, to have that partner that's like, all right, that's great. The idea, that's the first step. But all right, what's the steps to make that happen? And so it happened a lot faster than even I was expecting to happen. And I think that's, kudos to my partner, just how he works. And it also works vice versa, because sometimes I like, well, we may need to slow down. And so just like, it's like a vehicle, a vehicle has both a gas and a brake. And so it's not a matter of, well, I need to always push on the gas, but it's also a matter of like knowing when to push the gas and knowing when to push that brake and how much and how often. So we got it off the ground, fairly quick. And because I don't think it took, too much time. And we're consistently making adjustments, consistently, to find more efficient ways, more effective ways to, serve our clients.
Dope. Anything you want to add to that, Keldriick?
No. Just about the funny part. He said, "I'm quick, fast." Yes, yes, yes. Like I said, like I shared before, when it comes to working, I'm just a workaholic. I like to work. Any idea that he does bring to the table, I execute on it very quick and fast in a hurry. I'll be like, "Hey, I don't feel like wasting no time. Hey, we're gonna jump on this right now." But like you said, there are times in ministry, as being a leader in other capacities, I'm learning. Also, there's a time when you gotta push the gas and push the brake, because there's sometimes I be wanting to push the brake and be like, hey, I need to slow down on some of this stuff. But I just I just thank him for his great ideas, great everything that he does provide for the company. So that's what's
Man, and again, like just it's dope how you all work with each other and you identify y'all have identified strengths and weaknesses amongst each other. And Aiyinde has the idea. Keldriick say, "Let's hit the ground running right now." And that's a great quality to have, Keldriick, because I'm a procrastinator, man. Like I have an idea and I'll sit there and I'll be like, man, I want to do it. And all the time you sat there thinking about it, you couldn't have been and took a couple steps forward. So it sounds like you don't waste no time with no ideas. If you say we're gonna do a community service Saturday at 8 o'clock, you're gonna go ahead and start booking venues right now. You ain't waiting around. And that's dope. So what did you say? What would you say you got that quality from, Keldriick? Like just that quality of speedy decisions, making quick decisions.
Well, I really can't say, because I mean that's just how I've been as a young individual growing up in the church, where if I saw something very interesting or very great, I was able to have that knowledge to execute on it. Because being a ministry leader, even at my church, anytime I say, and Aiyinde would tell you, anytime I say that my department is going to do something, I don't do no cancelizations. I don't do no backfires. We're going to make that problem or that situation or that project happen immediately. And I just say, basically, I guess I look at, hey, majority of the time I had free time, or I stayed up late nights just to get it done or just to make it done, because I'm a type of person where at the end of the day, whatever project, service, or it is that we're going to provide, I'm going to do my best to make sure I put so much time and effort by pushing the gas as well to get it done. So I just thank God that I'm able to do that, because not a lot of people probably pushing that brake, but eventually I'm going to be pushing the brake at some point.
For sure, man. Much respect. And yeah, I mean, and just that making those quick decisions, man, that's dope. And the thing about it is like pushing the gas and go ahead and making a decision. Like, even if you fail the first time, you learn so much that you wouldn't have got just by standing still, having ideas and writing out business plans. And like I said, man, I'm speaking to myself, like just being a procrastinator and just taking too much time, because we can be too careful. Like, oh, I don't want to make this decision. It ain't the right one. Like taking those calculated risks. But like, man, just try. Because the worst thing you can do is try and fail. But at least you know what not to do the next time. So that's good, man. So you say, hey, if a project come across your desk, it's getting done. We starting right now.
Yes,
Dope,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
Dope, man. So you all talked about your aha moments and the action. The last portion, audacity, man. It takes audacity to step out there, not only to have an idea, but to act on it. Then to act on it and to put it out there to the world to be criticized or praised. Who or what gave y'all that courage, that audacity to actually start this company?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, well, for one, my thing is fear is something that I realized that like there's no point in, even if you fail, like if everything just go left, you gain more by walking forward and moving and acting on these ideas. And I realized I get the courage really just came from, well, I would say, I mean, I think some of it came from like innately, hear from parents, and that's one area. And then I think, but also it just came from like I just don't want to. I don't ever want to look, and let's say you on your deathbed, and I don't want to be like, man, I wish I would have done that. The pain of regret is gonna hurt more than the pain of not trying and not going after the goals and the visions that God has given you, and I think you don't really, I mean, trying to play it safe, like I get it. Yeah, it has benefits of, not, playing it safe, but also like you're not really living if you're not trying, one. And then two, the person that you need to become requires courage. I realize that everybody comes into this world. We all have flaws, but we also have some good traits about us as well. And I realized that no one type of personality or just because you have natural talents at something, you still got to have courage to go out and do that thing, whatever it is that you've been called to do. And so I see like the only way to really have fulfillment and freedom and joy and peace is to go out here and do it, and if you're gonna try to, I mean, I don't know, to try to pursue things that don't challenge you, like I just see like you're not really living, and you can never really develop that courage. I mean, I think it's still something that I know for me, I'm consistently developing, and it's not like, oh, I did it once, so I got it. Like I think you have to keep going and reinforcing that courage. It's just like building a muscle. Like you got to keep working it out. You got to keep, and not only that, like courage will build other characteristic traits that you didn't once have. So I think the courage just came from one, realizing that the thing that you're probably afraid of doing is not really as scared. And then two, breaking things down into small manageable tasks also helps, tackle those things in those areas that we maybe, mostly afraid of. Yeah, those are some of my snippets on as far as courage. And I just don't want to live. I'd rather live with the pain of discipline, the pain of failure, than the pain of not trying and giving it everything, that I had before I leave this earth.
Man, that's for sure, man. Like everything you just said, spot on, just in terms of like not having any regret. And I'm be real with you, man. I know you were saying there's some benefits in playing it safe, and I respect your opinion. I don't think it is, man. I think anybody that plays it safe, and I'll just speak for me, like playing it safe, man, you're gonna have so much regret, man. You get to your, like you said, your deathbed, you 90 years old, you looking back like, man, I had that idea to start that marketing agency or start that podcast or start that car wash, but I was so afraid that people were gonna laugh at me and I wasn't gonna have 100,000 followers in 2 weeks that I didn't go after it, man. So that's cool that you got that mindset, and the fact that you said courage, it opens up the door for many more traits to come out that that you didn't know were available. Man, that's so key and profound. I never heard it like that, but it makes so much sense, man. Appreciate you sharing that. Keldriick, what's your tidbit on audacity, man? Who or what gave you the audacity?
So basically, I'll say two from different family members I had in my life who are entrepreneurs, and to as well God as well, because in this life that we all live in, nothing is always easy. Nothing is always going to be given to us. There are things that you have to work for, or work hard to get, or work hard to prosper and receive those results. So basically, I just say in the part of courage or scaredness or anything, I'm a type person. Hey, if I'm providing a service to the media, if one or two people likes it, as long as that client or that particular person is actually getting great contentable information from the service that I provide, that's all that matters. Because we also have learned in business as well, there are going to be thousands of people, millions of people who will say, do, talk, and we just learn to press on and keep moving forward, because in business, there are always going to be downfalls. There are always going to be situational problems that will occur. Nothing in this world is ever going to be given to you like 100A on a test. It's always going to be a problem that you're going to have to slick through, learn how to solve it, learn how to make it work, and learn how to just build stronger values to it. So I just say, also doing stuff that makes you uncomfortable. Also got to look at that. Nothing that you always going to do is going to feel comfortable. Yes, people do talk. They're probably talking as of right now. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we can't focus on the people or what they're talking about. At the end of the day, as long as we as a marketing team is providing service to whoever that is watching or whoever the product belongs to, that's all that matters. But I also look at the end of all of what I just saying, God is the only man who's going to get us through it all. He's the reason that we have what we have right now. He's the reason that we all are able to just connect with so many people and keep so many positive relationships and continue to keep that motive that, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to scribe. We're going to pray. Because anything that we do, God hand is on it. You know, people like to say all the time, hey, this is my money, this is my, hey, it all belongs to God. God is the main reason and the main source that help you get those things that you have got in your life. So I just say kudos to God because he is a powerful God. With being praying every day, God is very powerful. He will answer your prayers and, you know, just work things out for you. So, you know, I just say stay true. Pray, keep fasting, believing that God is going to work miracles in your hardest days or your worstest days that you ever go through in life.
Powerful stuff, man. Putting God first, like that's the most important thing. I agree wholeheartedly. Like I put God first in all things in my life, man. Like when I pray, I just ask for strength, ask for the knowledge to get through whatever it is I got to get through. So it's good that you young men are keeping God first. That's the most important thing. And you said something key, man, about people talking. One thing I learned, man, most people that's talking noise, criticizing you, they ain't got no courage to start nothing on their own. So they got to throw tomatoes at the people that's out there actually doing something. Like they got to talk. They ain't got nothing else to do. So it's good that y'all keep pressing forward and y'all don't let that talk get in y'all spirit and discourage y'all, man, because all great businesses started out at $0 with 0 clients. But over time, and especially just the way you all been talking, keeping people first, that one, it'll turn to 100, it'll turn to 1,000, it'll turn to 10,000, and just continue to grow. So that's dope, man, that you all had that courage, that audacity to step out there and start this company. Because like I said, I didn't know of any company of this nature that was doing, especially in the city of Montgomery, that you all were doing. So you all are innovative, you're on the cutting edge. You got there first, man, and just continue to grow, keep God first. So let's pivot into the next portion, vision. You all have done some great things with the company. I know great things are coming down the pipeline. So what are some of the short-term and long-term goals for the company?
Yeah, so the long-term goal, for our company, or I'd say 5 to 10 years from now, I would look. Our goal is to see this company become international. We're now, marketing, where we're able to bring on talented individuals to help other companies market. We particularly see ourselves within the next 5 to 10 years. We also have a sub branch of our AK Media Marketing that I particularly like to hone on in, which is helping a physical therapy, cash-based physical therapy practice. And so we want to be the leader when it comes to social media marketing for small mom and pop shops, but also for cash-based physical therapy clinics. And then our short-term goal this year, our goal for this year is to be able to work with and at least help a minimum of 20 companies this year grow and scale their companies and get the message out for them.
Dope. Keldriick, anything you want to add to that?
No, sir. I say he answered it all. He answered it all.
Cool. That's dope, man. So as we wrap up the podcast, I want to ask $1 million question. I started this podcast to highlight the greatness of Montgomery, whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life. You both being here, being from different cities, Aiyinde from Phoenix City, Keldriick from Selma. I want to ask you all, what do you all appreciate the most about the Gump?
More so that what I appreciate more so about the Gump is there are really great people, great leadership that is in Montgomery, Alabama, and there are so many opportunities where you're able to not only just communicate your brand or communicate your value, but you're also able to communicate and grow yourself as well, along with the colleges, shopping areas, because Black-owned businesses are great businesses here anywhere in the state of Alabama. So I just thank God, too, that we do have so many Black business owners that are able to start businesses and actually have people to actually come to them and buy their product. Too, at the end of the day, I'm more so of a history major as well, too, liking that Montgomery is a very historic town, being able to see so many of the icons of Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King, of the great things that they done so we could have freedom in our life as of right now. So being in between Selma and Montgomery are two historical centers, grounds for me, and having that opportunity as a history major to be able to learn those things, actually see how we have our freedom as Black young male now has been a great experience, great opportunity. And I look forward for us three someday to be part of the next history landmark where we're able to tell a story of how things happen here and there and how we're able to push it to 10, 30 years later now. Hey, those black guys, black podcast, black marketing crew was the guys who did XYZ or helped bring a change to the state of Alabama or the state of Montgomery or wherever city that you are.
No.
Yep. Could you repeat the question one more time? So I make sure.
Yes, sir. No worries. I was just asking, what do you appreciate the most about the Gump?
Yeah, what I appreciate about Montgomery is one, it does hold it is a definitely one of the hearts or the heart of the civil rights movement. So I think the history here is very much well preserved. From that perspective, I definitely appreciate that about Montgomery. What I also see in Montgomery, there's a lot of untapped potential, here in the city of Montgomery. I know a lot of people know about Birmingham, and Huntsville is definitely growing, but I think also from a business standpoint, there's a lot of economic opportunity to bring more innovative ideas to this area because, like you mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of there are businesses here, but as far as from an innovative perspective, I think Montgomery has had the market here in Montgomery. If you are a creative person and a person with a lot of creativity, or you just have a service that could really benefit a lot of people, I think Montgomery is a great market to really tap into. So I see one of the things I appreciate about Montgomery is one, how well the history has been preserved specifically for Black people, and it's a great place for people to learn about the history and the struggle that we as Black people experienced in America. And then also, I like that Montgomery has a lot of room for innovation, and this is a great market to bring innovative opportunities to the city. So that's what I like about.
Yes, sir. And you all both made great points about the Gump and specifically about just the room for innovation. But yeah, it's a lot of greatness here. A lot of people are just not gonna say they're afraid, but they're apprehensive about stepping out there and trying to bring something new to the city. I know there's a lot of great ideas that haven't been birthed yet, and I just really hope people start giving birth to those ideas. And much respect to you all for giving birth to the idea of the marketing agency that you all are doing great things with. So before we get out of here, I just want to ask, how can the people connect with you all?
So they can basically connect with us through social media platforms. We're basically on Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is ak.media 2022. Then we also is on Facebook as well, AK Media and Marketing LLC. So those are numerous of ways. I don't know if there's a big population of TikTok, but I do know that those two social platforms are the main platforms between Facebook and Instagram where they can be able to connect with us. And also, if they also would like to book consultations or just have questions with us, they also can email us at akmedia41@gmail.com. And from there, we're able to connect with them, whether it's having a phone conversation or meeting with them on a virtual meeting, and basically at the end of the day, solve their problem.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. And of course, I'll put all the information in the description of the episode. Aiyinde and Keldriick, thanks again for the conversation. I really appreciate it.
No, yes, sir. Thank you, man. The pleasure was ours.
Yes, sir. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumptown Podcast. In the meantime, in between time, y'all know what to do. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Go. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your attention. Until next time.